Well, we're going to be talking today about copycat. Well, hey everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the concept of being a copycat. Now, so many times when people are talking about Jesus, we talk about him in a way, he was not just someone to follow with a good set of rules and a good behavior to emulate. And that's really true, that clearly he's more than that. But in some ways, we very much are called to be imitators of God. And it's really hard to imitate someone that you can't see. That's why Jesus came in the flesh as the express image of the Father, so we could copycat the Father by looking at Jesus. How did Jesus do this? And what was his motive? And all that kind of thing, because motive is so much of everything. And so when God is saying, you know what, be an imitator of me, well, yeah, it's not just fake it till you make it. No, it's when God commands you to say, to be perfect as I am perfect. Well, number one, you're not going to do that apart from him, right? God's work is a completed work on the inside. He is your sanctification. You have been made his righteousness. So therefore, you have the capacity to manifest perfection. Now, let's be very clear. You're going from glory to glory to glory. So sometimes that means you're going to blow it, and that's okay. But it's all on the inside out. It's an unveiling that is made possible. Why? Because there's a command, and with the command comes the empowerment, right? So let me unpack some scriptures as we're meditating on this concept of being a copycat of God, right? I'm going to take you to Ephesians 5:1. And it said, follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children, and walk in the way of love, just as Jesus loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. Now, I love this because this is a copycat. You know what? How you're copycatting this? You're copycatting it as dearly loved children. So if you're having a hard time walking in love, well, you know what? You need to camp out in the place of being loved, of being so extravagantly loved that you just know that you're a dearly loved child. And then out of that place of being a dearly loved child, you're going to be able to walk in the way of love. Why? Because you've received love. A lot of times we think we got to cough it up, because we're good Christians. I know, Jesus, you did this sacrifice for me, so I got to cough up some love here, right? I got to make it happen. Well, you know what? That's not really love. Not that. Let me just say this. If you are, really angry and you would just love to mow people down, well, maybe it's a good idea for you to use some self-control there. You may not feel like it, okay? But I'm talking in general. Walking in the way of love is something that you walk out of, that comes out of you naturally as you receive it. So if you're having a struggle, well, back it up and say, wow, Lord, I guess I really need to be loved. I guess my love tanks are low, or I've never had an encounter with you as love. And if you're needing help with that, by all means, check out my Marked by Love book. That'll massively help you with that. Let me go to another scripture, and this is in a different version. I didn't actually write it down. I'll probably figure out which version it is when I read through it. This is so good, though. I love it. It says, wake up from your sleep. I love this. Watch what God does, and then you do it. The children who learn proper behavior from their parents. Mostly what God does is love you. This sounds very much like the Message version. Keep company with him and learn a life of love. Observe how Christ loved us. His love was not cautious, but extravagant. He didn't love in order to get something from us, but to give everything of himself to us. Love like that. Don't allow love to turn into lust, setting off a downhill slide into sexual promiscuity, filthy practices, or bullying greed. Though some languages just love the taste of gossip, those who follow Jesus have better uses for language than that. Don't talk dirty or silly. That kind of talk doesn't fit our style. Thanksgiving is our dialect. Isn't that cool? That's from the Message version. But I want you to notice a couple things in this. It says, wake up from your sleep. You know, sometimes the problem is that we're just asleep, that we're not encountering God and His love because it's always present. We need to wake up in the spiritual dimension. Whew, just, wow, am I loved? I was not feeling really good about myself, but man, am I loved. It's so awesome, right? And it says, watch what God does, then you do it, like children who learn proper behavior from their parents. Guess who gets to do the job of parenting you in this? Maybe you didn't get great parenting as a kid. Maybe your love tanks were on double E from your background or whatever that is. But you know, God is love, and He's an amazing parent, and He's able to parent you in the way of love. And I love this. It says, mostly what God does is love you. Isn't that awesome? That is His full-time job, and He loves His job. He loves to love you when you're, you know, nasty. He loves to love you when you're just so lovable. He loves to love you when you've blown it. He loves to love you when you're disappointed in yourself. He's just going to love you. Why? Because He can't help Himself. That's who He is, right? Keep company with Him and learn a life with love. You learn a life of love by keeping company with God. You know, just in one of my recent videos, I was talking about practicing the presence of God. Well, that's just being aware that He's there. One of the key things that will help you with this is if you have just an ongoing discussion with God. My family knows me really well. So sometimes I'll be quote unquote, talking to myself. No, I'm just actually talking with God, and actually He talks back. It's awesome. And so we're just having this conversation. So I bring Him into whatever I'm doing. Why? Because I want to enjoy Him when I'm, you know, doing the laundry, and I want to enjoy Him when I'm writing a book. I want to enjoy Him when I'm, you know, shopping. I mean, I talk to Him about the cantaloupe I'm going to pick out. And so, is this a good one, Jesus? Okay, that's a good one. Now, I don't always do it super loud because my family may understand me. They may think I'm strange, but that's okay. I'm fabulous, so it works. But maybe the people in the grocery store might want to, you know, commit me or something. So we'll just, you know, there's a way to do it that is wise. So bottom line is, you're called to be a copycat, but you're called to be a copycat of love. And you do that by letting the Lord extravagantly love you. And you know, if you're needing help with that, go ahead and get my book, Marked by Love. That will really help you. If you're more of an audiovisual person, I actually have a course with videos and things that can help you with that as well. We have a workbook. There's lots of resources to help you get there from here. But I just encourage you, God is so lovely, and you were made to express that love. You were made to be a copycat of love. So I hope that's been a blessing for you today. And as always, you have an amazing day. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. And if you want more of this content, check out KatherineToone.com. We've got an e-course, books, and multiple free resources for you to enjoy. If you like the video, be sure to share with your friends and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.